Hey guys, welcome to number 3 of the Derby Career Mode Live, and to start off this episode we have got the game against Preston at home. I hope to win that game, kick off the episode quite nicely, then away at Bolton, and then we've got Leicester City in the Carabao Cup in the second round. A bit of a tougher game and a good chance to, what I'll probably do is end up playing a bit of a weaker team against Bolton, and then I'll play my first team against Leicester. Then we can see how, in comparison, our team is to a Premier League side. Obviously Leicester will make a few changes, but it'll still be a very tough team. And then we'll see if we can get that Sheffield Wednesday game in, but I might leave it out just so we get another episode in the transfer window just to get your guys' input. I've had a few suggestions that seem to make sense to me, so we're going to quickly go add those to the shortlist, and obviously it takes them about 14 days to be scouted, and then we can potentially buy them just before the end of the window. Transfer offer here for Forsyth from Millwall. In a way, I want to just accept it because they've put a very good offer in of 720k, but he's only worth up to 600. The problem is now we have actually sold Olsen. We'd only have Max Lowe as our only left back, so I think for the time being we're going to leave that there, and we are going to go into the next game against Preston. But before we do that, I'm actually going to show you who we've actually added to the shortlist. So we have added a few players that you guys have suggested. I think Sese Wancambo is actually a very logical one because he can technically play left back, but more of a right back in my opinion. Very fast, 89 pace, and he's actually got a pretty good potential as well, so would be interesting to bring him back to the club. Then we've got Bobby Reid. If I was going to bring him into the club, I'd probably play him at cam. Would be a backup to Mattia Vidra, just that kind of player that just sits in behind the striker, because we've only really got Vidra at the moment in that position. Unfortunately, Trent Sainsbury, he seemed like a really good player, but he's only just moved to Brøndby in the Norwegian League, I think that is, so we're going to have to remove him from the shortlist. And the final two players are Anton from Hamburg. As you can see on the right hand side, he has got a £10 million release clause, so very highly valued but very versatile at the same time. Can play centre back, CDM and right back. That's the great thing about Germans, they can do a job in so many positions. And the final player is Kehrer from Schalke. Apparently this guy is like incredible in the Bundesliga. He's been highly rated, and he's only got an £8.4 million release clause, so it would be our record signing, of course. In a way, I kind of want to bring him in because of how versatile he is as well. He can play left back, right back and centre back, and if we did bring him in, I'd probably look to move Forsyth on. So as those players are being scouted now, we're going to go into our next home game against Preston North End. We are currently 19th in the table, but we've only played one game. Don't think there's really much point in looking at the table at this very early on stage of the season. It means we can use our home kit, and we are playing at home for the first time this season. I'm tempted to make a few changes just because of how we did kind of struggle against Sunderland. I felt we could have done a lot better. I'm also going to be putting Max Lowe. Ooh, he is a bit low on fitness, but I think it's nothing too major, so we'll stick him in at left back. I want to get him up to at least a 70 rated by the end of the season. I think that's more than achievable. Very good youngster. It's kind of a shame that he's only got 70 pace though. I feel he should have at least 75 as a minimum. But nevertheless, I think we'll go with this lineup again. Maybe just put Thorne in for Johnson, and we'll go into the game. Here's the Preston lineup then for today's game at Pride Park. Callum Robinson on the left-hand side, obviously a player on our shortlist. Hugill and Welsh, Johnson, Pearson, Huntington, Fisher, Davies and Woods in the defence. Then Maxwell in goal. Very similar to the team, our style of play we used to play under Steve McLaren. Obviously we're playing a 4-2-3-1 now. Thorne and Keefton. New combination in the holding midfielder role. But apart from that, a very similar team. I've put Max Lowe in the defence because he did actually do really well against Crewe in the last game. Poor pass there from Keefton. Hugill's got the shot, and they've already kicked off the scoreline in 2 minutes again. The only reason I seem to be conceding at the moment is due to mistakes. A poor pass from Keefton on his home debut has led to the goal for Hugill. Not the start we were looking for, that's for sure. But I do like the new feature that EA have added, where it does just look at the stadium a bit more. And yeah, as you can see, it was a poor pass from Keefton. Maybe it was Vidra actually, I'm not too sure. Let me just quickly make sure I was actually blaming the right player. Let me just quickly pass it back. Yeah, it definitely was Keefton, as you can see here. A little bit of a shame, but we're going to have to come back into it. Again, I can't really get my hand around passing at the moment, but yeah, hopefully we can get back into this game quickly. Lawrence on the attack here. We're going to slip it into Vidra. Can he get the shot off and get us back into this game? Yes, he can. Mattia Vidra at home. I realised as well when I was blaming Keefton Beld, I probably said Keefton because it's one of them things like I'll just read the name and just I'm going to have to learn, but we've got back into the game there, only 8 minutes after conceding that first goal. A good first 10 minutes. Lawrence here, waiting for the run of Vidra, goes past the defender as he cuts inside, and a very nice finish from the Czech international. Good tackle there from Keefton Beld. It is one of them things, like, it could have happened to anyone. Unfortunately, it was Keefton Beld, but Vidra's got a chance here to make it 2, and he has a really nice run from Mattia Vidra. He's only 70 rated, but he seems like an incredible player. He seems like an 80 rated player with the way he can control the ball and go past players with ease and yeah, find the back of the net. I think it did slightly deflect. Did that deflect? Yeah, he just nicked off the defender's foot. Hopefully it does go down. Yeah, it's gone down as Vidra's goal, but the deflection obviously made it a little bit tougher for the goalkeeper, but a great way to reply after conceding in the first 2 minutes. There it is, half-time against Preston. Currently 2-1 up, obviously, after conceding that early goal due to Keefton Beld. He has kind of replied, though. Both the goals were him dispossessing Preston off the ball, quickly getting it up to, firstly, Lawrence, and then it was to Jordan Ibe, I think, for the second. Going to make some substitutions then. I think we'll bring on Breton up front. I don't know if it's Breton or Brereton, but he is quite versatile, can play out wide as well. 6'1" as well, with 88 pace pretty much. Very good strength as well for a young lad, and 68 finishing, can very easily train that up, and I think we've got a really good impact sub off the bench. David Nugent, I'll probably put him in behind the striker at Vidra, but I kind of do want to get him his hat-trick first. Going to bring on Vyman on the right hand side, and I think we'll bring on Bradley Johnson for George Thorne.
Attacking well here.
Into Breton here. Has he got a chance to score on his debut? He's got the shot off. It's gone into Lawrence. The keeper's had to make the save. That was literally a matter of inches between that going. Basically, if it went the other side of the post, it would have gone in, but obviously the keeper, it came off his arm, went back into play, hit his face, and then went out for the corner. Can Vidra win the header? He's kind of won it. Into Vyman now. Straight at the keeper. Could have done with putting that in the corner, but I could have maybe taken a touch, but I just thought, hit it first time on the volley, it would have looked a lot better, but still a chance Preston can get back into this, so we do need to be careful. I'm going to pop it onto the defensive just for these last 5 minutes. Tom Lawrence winning the man of the match for the game, but Vyman's got a chance here, just wide. I thought he's going to just nick that around the post, but he's just pushed it wide, unfortunately. It's going to be basically between Russell and Vyman, depending on when they do come off the bench, who will basically replace either Lawrence or Jordan Ibe, depending on how they perform. So it's a very competitive area out wide, so I don't think we do need any more wingers at the moment. Last attack here for Preston. It is very deep into this added time. They've got the ball into the box. Can Wisdom win it? Yes, he can. It's gone out. If he put that on target and scored, they would have nicked the point, but they missed, and we've managed to get the 3 points. Poor pass from Keefton Beld in the first 2 minutes. Pretty much their only attack, really. There wasn't much from him. But yeah, we dominated the game after that. As you can see there, Marcus Holston has been sold for 850k to Bolton, who we are just about to play. So it's going to be interesting to see if he is in the lineup or not. Vyman said he did well. He did have a couple of decent chances, a bit more finishing. He could have scored. But as you can see here, Newcastle are coming with a £2.3 million bid for George Thorne. We can't sell him at the moment. We've got not that many centre mids, so I don't want to sell him. And he's one of my favourite players at Derby County, so no chance for selling him to Newcastle. Obviously in the Premier League, so clearly has got the ability to play in a bigger league. So we have got valuations for a few of these players. There's still a little bit longer before we fully get the scout report back, but as you can see, he's only worth 3.6, so essentially playing double for his release clause. We'll have to see what the negotiations are like, but I'm going to go into this next game, and then we'll probably go into those. Hopefully by then the scout report is fully done, because we have got the game against Bolton. At the moment we are 10th in the table, but it seems like everyone seems to be playing a game and then we play a game. So for example, Birmingham, top of the table, have played 4 games, we've only played 2, so there's a chance we can easily start this season very nicely. With a win against Bolton here, we could push ourselves into the playoff places. So I think I'm going to use this away kit. We didn't do too well against Sunderland in it, so hopefully it isn't jinxed, but I'm going to drop it down to 5 minutes. I don't want to waste too much time on this early access. We are going to make a few changes, as we have got Leicester in a couple of days, so I want to make sure we have a fully fit team for that game. So we will be making a couple of changes here and there. Into the game then against Bolton Wanderers, we're going to have a quick look at their lineup. They've gone for a 5 at the back, with 3 in midfield and 2 up front. Armstrong and Medina up front, Derek, Pratley and Vea in the midfield. Marcus Olsen playing against his former club at left back, and Ben Alwick in goal. It's going to be tough to break down a 5 at the back, especially when we've only got 1 striker. We may have to make a change at half time. We've gone for a bit of a weaker team with Leicester City coming up in a couple of days. I want a good chance of beating them, and I think this team's still got very good. Obviously Bennett out wide's a bit of a weaker player for Lawrence, but it's still a team we can easily win against Bolton with. Ball through here for Armstrong. Has Carson got the chance to get it? Okay, I thought that was going to be a penalty for a second there. If you watch that back, he took the legs before he got the ball. There's no doubt about that, but obviously referee didn't see that. We have got a chance here to get a goal for ourselves into Nugent. As you can see, here's the replay. As you can see, he took the legs, then he got the ball. So if he went down, he probably would have given away a penalty there, but luckily he stood up. Back into Winnell, now into Nugent. Can he get the shot off? Yes, he can. And it's a beautiful finish from David Nugent, a great goal. I don't think he used to... No, it was Preston. I should have probably played him in the last game because he probably would have scored against his former club. But yeah, nice hold up from Winnell to wait for the run of Nugent, and then a fantastic finish from the former England international. There it is, half-time against Bolton. Currently 1-0 up thanks to David Nugent. A great finish, to be fair. It was one of our few shots in the half. Yeah, we're doing alright. I think we'll be able to get the win. Ball through for Nugent here. Has he got the finish? Off the post. Really annoying. Could have made it 2 there. We're going to make our subs now, I think, a little bit earlier, but still plenty of time left in the game to get Johnny Russell a few minutes, and I think we'll try Breton up front as well. And I think we'll probably bring on Callum Guy if we can get a second goal. If not, we'll bring on Thorne to make sure we get the win. Here we go into Forsyth. Got a good chance to get this in the box. Now we've got Breton on the pitch, a bit of a taller striker. He's gone for the acrobatic. Oh, it's offside though. It would have been a lovely goal to score as his first for the club, but yeah, unfortunately he's offside. They are making a sub there. Last 15 minutes, we'll drop it down to defensive again. Don't want to concede a late goal here and throw away the 3 points. There it is, full time against Bolton Wanderers. A 1-0 victory, not the most convincing of victories, but at the end of the day, it's a result business, and we've got the 3 points away from home. I'm more than happy with that. Only 1 shot from Bolton. David Nugent with a very good strike. So we have got both the wages here for Kera and Anton. I think what I'm going to do is, because when you go onto this screen to approach the buy, I don't know if you can actually use this release clause after negotiating, so we're going to try and negotiate a good price for Anton, and then if you can't use the buyout clause afterwards, I'll probably just buy out Kera if he's anything near 5 million Anton. Into the negotiations again then. I don't think I really have any players to swap, to be fairly honest, mate. Maybe a striker, I don't know. Not really, no. He'd have to be a youth player. Is Sam Winnell on loan? Or is he permanent? Because we can swap him there. Surely he's on loan. I'm pretty sure he's on loan anyway. I don't know if that's a glitch or not. Out wide, I don't want to replace any of those. Fullbacks, don't want to replace any of those. We could technically put Forsyth into the deal. But I think, especially for Anton, who can't play left back, I think we'll just have to put money into this deal. So we're going to go for a fee, pretty much his value. I think we'll go 4.5 and see what they come back with. So they've come back with 7.1. Now his buyout clause is 10, so we're getting a better deal in a way. Like we're saving 3 million. But what we could do is put a sell-on clause of 10%, take off a bit of that money, because I don't want to spend 7 million on one centre-back. Now, it looks like I don't really want to spend 7 mil on a player I don't really want. So I think we're just going to end negotiations here. And I think you can actually come back to him in a bit of time. So you have to wait until the end of the window or the next transfer window. But I feel like out of the two, Kera is the better one. And he's got a cheaper release clause, so we can always just use that if need be. Into the next game then against Leicester City at home. East Midland derby, of course, the first one of the season. It is a bit of a shame that Leicester are in the Prem in terms of, like, we should be in the Prem playing against them, but as you can see, we are rivals. I'm going to give them their home kit, as I don't get why they gave the away kit, to be honest. I think we'll make a couple of changes. We'll bring Thorne into this holding midfielder role, put Lowe at left back, and I think that'll be about it. I don't think there's many changes I really want to make. Looking at the Leicester lineup then, they've gone for Vardy and Soleimani up front. Albrighton and Morris out wide, Boring and Ndidi in the midfield. Coleman and Durham. So they've signed 2 fullbacks. Coleman, probably one of the best in the league, obviously a bit injury prone, but still very good. And then Dragovic and Huth and Schmeichel in goal. We did struggle against Sunderland, who played a 4-4-2 as well, so it's gonna be a very tough game. Coleman at right back, I'm sure he's going to be putting in plenty of balls into the box, and it's going to be interesting to see how Max Lowe does against a big Premier League team. Here we go, great ball into Lawrence. Has he got the chance to get the goal here early on? Schmeichel with the low save. He's very good at making one-on-one saves, of course. Into Vidra with the shot. Great little link-up play between Martin and Vidra there. Beautiful little play to get the ball into Martin early on. Holds up, waits for Vidra, and he gets the goal. I think that's Kieftenbeld as well with the shot in between the 2 defenders. Great little goal. Great to get Vidra firing as well. With the shot, oh, off the post. I think that was Ndidi there. Just did score a very good goal against Derby, obviously. Last season in the same, was it the FA Cup or was it the EFL? I can't quite remember. I think it was the FA. All Vidra's in here with the shot. Oh, Schmeichel's had to make the save. Martin's absolutely taken. I think that's Dawn. He seems to be down injured. 3 for Vidra. Can he get the second? And it's gone into the back of the net. Schmeichel got a hand to it. It was rolling in. But we've made it 2 just before half-time. A really nice counter-attack. As you can see, Chris Martin just waiting for the run of Vidra. Eventually finds it. And very similar to the goal he scored against Preston, of course. Just waiting for the run of Vidra. And yeah, he's already got 4 goals this season. Vardy's here. Oh, just wide of the post for Jamie Vardy. Could have made it 2-1 to end off that first half, sorry, going into the second. Currently 2-0 up. I think we have injured a couple of players with Chris Martin as well. He seems to be pushing himself around the pitch, and Vidra obviously running the game so far with his beautiful couple of goals. Going to make a couple of substitutions. I do kind of want to rest Vidra just because he's done the business this game, and we kind of do need him in that centre attacking mid area. But we'll bring on Johnny Russell for Lawrence. Obviously he hasn't quite done it against his former club. And I think we'll bring on Nugent up front instead of Martin. Ball in here. I think it's going to be a goal, and it is. Soleimani's managed to win that beautifully. Really good ball from Mahrez right in the 6-yard line, and last 20 minutes now I've literally just made the sub as well of bringing Callum Guy off, bringing Callum Guy on for Thorne. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do in this last 25-ish minutes. It's an interesting career move for Seamus Coleman to go to Leicester. Obviously the former champions of England, but like, you'd think Everton are a bigger club, so why would you move to Leicester? It's a bit of an odd one in my opinion. But Moose is on the attack here. They've got the shot off, but it's miles wide. Oh, just wide of the post. I thought we literally just managed to close down the keeper and get us a goal. Obviously, not. I'm sure that just said goalkeeper on his position. I was reading that through quickly. I'm sure it said position goalkeeper at the top, but yeah, Lawrence didn't have the best of games against his former club, but obviously with Coleman at that right back position, he was going to struggle. And there we go, full time against Leicester. We've won against a Premier League side with our Championship team, so I think there were a couple of times where I felt we could have done with that better defensive player. Like we did really lack. As you can see, Chris Martin got man of the match with 9.4, so he's not exactly scoring, but he's creating the chances for Vidra to find the back of the net. Just to finish off this episode then, I think we are going to activate the release clause of Kera. I just want to see how it does, like the whole process and stuff like that. So we're going to actually save the contract stage for the start of the next episode. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. We won against Leicester. We won all the games, I think. I'm pretty sure we won all the games. So very happy with how we performed in this episode. Make sure you do drop a like. Leave some comments down below. This is the last opportunity for you guys to suggest any players until we go into the January transfer window. In only 4 or 5 episodes, I reckon. It won't take too long to get there, but nevertheless, make sure you do smash the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and see you soon. Bye.